I'm 28 years old and I just moved back home to live with my family because nobody told me that when you're on your growth journey and you're trying to figure out what you want for your life, that you're gonna end up blowing up your whole life. Story time. I turned 28 3 weeks ago and I've been freaking out about that for the whole year really, because if I had asked younger me, I thought by 28 my life would be so together. I thought I would have been married by now. I thought I would have had kids by now. Like, I look at my mom, by the time that she was my age, she had an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. The ironic part is that it's not for lack of a partner. Like, I feel like a lot of times the people who don't have those things yet is because they haven't found that person yet to do those things. But I've been in a long-term relationship for the last 9 years, since I was 19 years old in college. And it hasn't been an easy journey. Like, we did break up twice during that, but we kept finding our way back to each other. But my thing is, being on this growth journey for the last couple years, I've started questioning a lot of what do I actually want for myself outside of what society kind of conditioned me to want growing up. So I've been questioning marriages. I've been questioning having kids. Meanwhile, having an amazingly beautiful partner who wants all those things. And there's a part of me that wanted so badly to give all that to him because I know he's going to be an amazing husband. I know he's going to be an amazing father. But I look back to the dreams that I had when I graduated college and the things that I feel like I didn't go for because I was scared of failing, and instead I chose safety and security. Like, I remember at that time my biggest dream was to travel the world. Like, I wanted to be a digital nomad and build an online business so I could work from wherever and just travel. I've also always been a city girl at heart. Like, I lived in Philadelphia. I lived about 20 minutes out of the city, which was great and convenient, but I always wanted to live like in an apartment where I could just walk out and walk wherever I needed to go and just be in the middle of it. So I decided, like, just because I'm turning 28 doesn't mean my whole life is over. Like, it's not too late to go for those things and try for those things. So then I started having conversations with my boyfriend about how that's what I really wanted to make the next year about, is like going for those dreams and traveling and moving to the city. And after a lot of conversations, it just seems like that's not what he wanted. He just turned 30 this last year and he wants that stability and he wants to build for the future and he wants marriage and kids, and pretty much what I wanted was the exact opposite. Like, I'm pushing that further down the line for the sake of going out and traveling. And the last couple weeks have been the most heartbreaking thing of realizing that in order for us both to get what we want, we might not be able to do that together. And it's one thing to like end a relationship because something really bad is happening. Somebody cheated on you or they were doing you dirty, but it's a whole nother thing when there's like so much love there, but just your paths aren't aligned anymore. Weeks of heartbreaking conversations led to me moving back home, and the life that I had built with him for the last 9 years is done, and now I have to learn to build a new one for myself. And I just feel like I've been all over the place, and in, I guess, a moment of like manic breakup madness, I decided I'm gonna go backpacking Central America. And I booked a one-way flight to Guatemala, leaving in the middle of January. And now that I'm home, I'm gonna spend the next 6 weeks getting ready to go on that trip. And I am terrified and sad and just feeling all the feelings. Life just doesn't feel real right now, and I feel like I'm just making crazy moves and decisions. Like, why did I book a trip to Central America when I don't even know how to swim? So then I was like, well, I'm gonna have to learn how to swim in the next 6 weeks. So what did I do? I signed up for swimming classes. I start my first swimming class tonight. I literally feel like I'm losing my mind, but I'm trying to just keep moving forward. And I think I'm just gonna start using this account as like my video diary and like just document these next 6 weeks, and then I guess that 3-month trip, and go from there. I just feel like I'm trying to shove down all the sadness and just believe that even though right now it is like heartbreaking, that maybe in some twisted way the universe is looking out for me and it'll all work out.
Goodness. So I honestly feel like the problem with Gen Z is they almost have like too much information. You would think like the more information you have, the better you will be prepared for life. but it's almost like giving them too many thoughts in their heads. They overthink everything. So like this woman here, she's talking about she was in a relationship for the past 9 years since college, and they broke up twice, I guess, and then she said they got basically off and on 9 years, broke up, got back together, and they seem to be, she's from what she's saying, they seem to be very much in love, and she said they're at a crossroads though, basically, like he wants a wife and children. He's 30, which I'm thinking like, yeah, might want to start thinking about that around that time, if not sooner than that. And then, if not younger than that, at a younger age, because you have to like plan for children and a family, especially when you're a man. You have to be ready to provide for a wife and kids. So you can't just wake up one day and be like, I'm going to go get a wife and kids. Like, no, you need to be working and building towards that type of future. And then her, on the other hand, she wants to take off and travel and do like all the typical whimsy Gen Z things that all the Gen Zers are doing. And some of the millennials are doing it as well. Like, oh, I'm just a digital nomad. I'm floating around and doing whatever. And essentially they are kind of meeting, like I said, at a crossroads where it's like one person is going left, the other person is going right. And neither version is to say like one is right and one is wrong. But I'm just like, okay, the reason I really made this video was because of the comments. So, of course, people are giving her, big upping her for like doing what she wants to do. So she's like, you may not realize it now, but one day you'll realize that this is the best decision you've ever made for yourself. And she's saying, thanks for saying that, because right now I'm just missing that man bad, but I know in my gut this is the right move for becoming who I want to be. And yeah, let's keep going. So someone else said that Janae Aiko, I'm chopping that name up, I know, for real. So this says, she said, you have got to lose your mind just to find your peace of mind. You have got to trust the signs. Everything will turn out fine. And she's like, OMG, yes, the queen of being good with yourself and finding peace. So everyone's like, giving her, words of encouragement that she's making the right choice. Someone else said, traveling the world before you make the decision to settle down is so smart. And you're so brave for leaving a relationship to pursue your dreams. Someone else put, 28, moved back in with my mom last year after breakup. And I'm now going back to school, changing careers, and paying off debt. You got this. This woman is saying, babe, I am married with a child. She's saying like, oh my gosh, the whole world's going to end. And 33, which is like really nothing when you're like 41. But she's like, I can't tell you how much you're going to be happy for doing what you want to do, everything you want. Okay. And then she's saying, the way y'all are making me feel so validated and safe in this decision, I felt like I was being selfish, but maybe that's exactly what I need to be. Thank you. I don't know. I wouldn't call that selfish. Like, that's not where my mind went at all. The next person said, resonate with this so much. 27 and realizing I no longer want the career I've been working toward my entire life. I read somewhere that the average adult changes their career at least 3 times in their lifetime, and that was like 20 years ago that I saw that. So imagine nowadays with everything being so hot, so volatile with the market, how many more times people are changing their careers now. So that's really like nothing. I only say like twice maybe. I was in the IT field, and then I switched over to, real estate. And so this person says, I went back for my master's at 28. Now I'm 32 with a new job, starting over myself. The time will pass anyway. Do what you love. You won't regret it. Someone else said, you'll never regret choosing yourself and what you want, need, and it's okay to change your mind. I actually like that comment. It's very simple, very succinct. This person said, I went through this at 26. I'm now almost 30, and it was the best decision. It was so tough, but somehow it all worked out, and I have everything I've ever wanted. It's so okay to change your mind and find yourself. You're right where you're meant to be. Okay, so she's thanking her for that. And someone else said, so this is like the next comment I'm reading again, where it's like, I just moved back in with my mom 2 months ago at 28 to pay off debt and get my life together. We got this. So yeah, apparently those articles I've been reading about people moving back in with the parents is really not, what do you call it? It's really not just them talking. I have no advice for this young lady. like, I'm surprised everyone's feeling like so free. You can tell they're young. They're like, go for it, girl. But I feel conflicted. So I just wanted to say, you're still so young, and finally doing what is going to make you happy. So brave. Be proud of that. That's true. Yeah. So I think what I would tell this young lady as Auntie Sam, I'm the auntie here now. I think I'm in auntie age after I hit 41, after I go over 40s. So I would tell her, to just sit down with her thoughts. As soon as she's kind of like sporadically doing random things, I would really sit down and think about, like, what did you always want for your life? Like, did you want kids? Did you want a husband? Did you just want the kids? What did you see yourself doing in so many years? And not to say it's not going to change, but innately, whatever you think you wanted to do is because of something that's within you. So even if you change like the way that looks, it's still going to be like essentially you wanting that same thing. Like, for instance, let me give an example. So I always saw myself when I was like a teenager. I was always driven. I always saw myself as like the CEO of IBM. So I did go into the IT field. I did get pretty high up in the IT field. But then once I got there, I really didn't like the environment. It's funny because I never really did not like what I did for a living. I just didn't like the people, the people that I was around in that field. But fast forward now, I'm the CEO of my own real estate company. So it's like, even though I'm in a different industry, I'm essentially still my own boss. I'm still my own boss. I'm the boss, So that really didn't change. And so you have to really think about, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? What did you always want to do? Not what your parents wanted you to do, not what looks good to society, not what is ever trending on TikTok. Like, what did you really want to do? She mentioned something about she saw herself being a digital nomad. So if that's the case, then maybe this is the right move for you. Maybe you taking off and maybe you have that wanderlust where you just want to go. You don't like the idea of settling down. I will be the last person to tell somebody to get married. Y'all already know how I feel about it. Y'all already know how I feel about it. And I just feel like, what if she meets the guy of her dreams while she's traveling and backpacking through the mountains or something? And what's so funny? I literally just looked up the marriage and divorce rates around the world, and Guatemala is like second or third on the list of like long marriages. Like, they don't get divorced often. I don't know how often they get married, but I think they have like a high scratch that. They have a high marriage rate, very low divorce rate. Like, they're very unlikely to get divorced. So if you want marriage, if she just happened to say Guatemala, that would be the place to go, I think. Now, I don't know if they're willing to marry outside their, ethnic group or whatever, but that's neither here nor there. I'm sure it'll be fine. But anyways, yeah, so jump out there, and this is a great time. 28 is it's a great age. I mean, it's almost like you're getting a little bit into the window, might be closing at 35. But of course, we've seen people nowadays going into their 40s being pregnant. My best friend just had her 2 babies back to back, might I add. And well, how old is she? 41 now. So like basically in the last 2 years or 3 years, she's been pregnant at like late 30s, early 40s. And yes, they did annoy her and kept calling her pregnancy a geriatric pregnancy. But all in all, yes, she was a little bit more tired than whatever. But what pregnant woman isn't tired? So she said she was struggling a bit with the last baby, but she seems very happy. She's married. She got married, I think, like 5 years ago or something. So it took her a little while to find the one, but she did. And she already has like an older son with an ex who's like an idiot. So every generation has their stories. Like, my mom's generation was like, we're having a baby at a young age. Not very young, but like our first kid, we're going to give it up for adoption. It's not funny, but like, it's like every black family has that story where they like gave a child up for adoption and like raised the rest of their other kids that they had like when they got a little bit older. Then the millennial story is, I think, is going to be, because Gen Xers, they seem like they're pretty stable. The millennial story is going to be, I had a first child with a bad baby daddy, and then I got it right the second time around, or something like that. Like, so everybody has like this first baby daddy is like a nightmare, and then and a total deadbeat, and then the rest are like the fathers are around or whatever. So, anyways, I don't even know. Maybe that has some, we're choosing better. Who knows? But yeah, I say go for it. I don't even really like to give my advice on this kind of stuff because it's not easy, to really delve into like telling people what to do because you don't really know what she wants. Like I've seen women who have done what she's doing and they are not happy with their choices later down the line. Like she might regret leaving the love of her life because what if he gets married? Like she's backpacking through Guatemala, and he's getting married and having kids, and then she comes back and they run, like Facebook, catch up again, and it's like, what the heck? Like I never got over him, I mean, the heart, I feel like it knows what it wants. And I was just thinking, like, why can't you both have it all? Like, why can't, you go backpacking together and then when you get back, you agree to start a family or something like that. And maybe you don't need to get married to him. Like, why does he feel like maybe there can be a compromise here? Like, why does he feel like marriage is something that has to happen? Because a lot of times guys get married and the next thing you know they're cheating. So it's like I would want to ask him, like really sit him down and ask him, like, is marriage, why do you want to do that? Or if we do open marriage, sorry, that was a Freudian slip. No, if we got married, could it be an open marriage? Could we do polyamory? Like, what are the stipulations here? Because I would just want to throw it out there. Like, what would our marriage look like? Would it look like everybody else's? Is it cookie cutter marriage? Is that what you want? Because guys don't know what they want. They'll say that's what they want because it sounds good. And then when it's time to actually live it, it's like, ugh, this is the worst. So, just have those conversations. You never know. You all may be able to reach a compromise. I mean, he's 30, but that's not old, especially for a guy. Not like he has to carry the baby. So I just want to say good luck to you. Consider all your options. And, just know that sky's the limit. And things will work out. I think my own personal feelings about this is I just would worry about regretting not being with the love of your life and not starting a family with him. But maybe you all talking about it and changing how it looks. Like, he wants to be stable. Okay, we can be stable, but I want to travel first. I'm kind of surprised you all didn't travel already. You've been together like 9 years. So I'm just wondering, like, what happened in that 9 years? Did you not travel? Were you not able to travel? Why weren't you traveling? Like, what's going on there? So, yeah, I would be like, let's get a year of traveling, year or two, and then let's start a family when we get back, if that's what you want. So I'm just throwing ideas out there because I just don't like to see women regretting not having kids and they wanted a child. I also don't like, I don't love marriage. So I'm not pushing anyone into marriage. So if you didn't care for marriage, I could not be mad at you because it's not the best thing ever. I don't care for it. So, yeah, I would just have that conversation. Best of luck to you. And this video, of course, is for all women out there. Always choose yourself, of course. Like, don't do something just because somebody else wants you to do it. Like, absolutely choose yourself every time, okay? Because at the end of the day, you're the person that has to live with your choices, not anyone else. So if you allow someone else to lead your life and tell you what you like and don't like, you're the one that's going to be miserable while they're living their best life. That's not the way that works. That's not the way it should work, okay? Like, it's your life. Do what you want. And if that means letting him go, then so be it. But maybe he could be more flexible and be willing to travel with you before you all even have children. Who knows? So I hope that helps everyone. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.